SiGMA Asia presents Gaming Asia, the rise of regulated economies. At the continent's largest iGaming and tech summit, a consensus emerged. Asia is today one of the fastest growing markets in the global gaming industry. Ramon Garcia, chairman of DFNN Inc., describes why it is essential to engage constructively and innovatively with the leaders of government regulatory bodies.
We were one of the first licensees of POGO, both on the land-based as well as the interactive. We continue to expand, and in fact, we have been engaged with two regulators now, which are both the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation, as well as the Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office, which is the legal operator of the lottery and sweepstakes in the country.
I think the Philippines made the mistake of not seeking outside help, assuming that this was something that was easy to do. I can't tell you where it went wrong and why it's ended up in POGOs being banned from the country now, or all IGLs, but they certainly lost sight of KYC. And there's various other things that happened there. I think it was a terrific opportunity to boost GDP. I think all the supporting industries that fell as a result of the POGO collapse is also catastrophic for the country. And I think they downplay the cost economically and also downplay the opportunity that they missed.
Markets with clear, forward-thinking frameworks attract top-tier operators and unlock long-term growth.
Like in many European countries where they do have to pay tax, but then they find other ways around it. That's not the right model. Bring it to a model that people can afford, that the business can exist, and that regulators understand what it takes. You can't overtax it and then have not enough money available for the marketing in order then for the operator to attract players. And that's the problem, because most of the regulators have no idea how to run this business or understand enough about the business. And we as an industry do a really bad job in educating the outside world. We really do. If you go to an average player and you say, you know, how much of a percentage does the slot machine pay back, they absolutely don't understand. Because they basically say, oh, you know, the operator probably, you know, keeps 80%. Well, that's very far from the truth, as we know. You know, when you're an insider, you know that the operator at max keeps 5-6%.
Asia's rise in the global gaming scene depends not just on innovation, but on regulation to keep pace.
We have to learn to educate our regulators, show them what is being done and how you're doing it, be transparent, so that you gain a sense of confidence when they do regulation that it can be implemented and sustainable.
Just last month, POGO announced that the e-gaming revenue had actually outpaced the land-based revenues for the first time. I think the industry already knew that they have to really focus on their online offering, but it's very challenging, and an online business is very unlike a land-based casino business. There is really no correlation other than the fact that the games look similar. Blackjack's blackjack, roulette's roulette, of course. But the actual operation, formalization, and the strategic planning of an online business is completely different. And until the owners, the C-level executives of the land-based casinos here understand that, they will struggle.
With smartphone adoption soaring and technologies like AI and blockchain reshaping the way people play and pay, the region's gaming industry is evolving faster than ever.
In iGaming, it is very difficult because the affiliates take so much money and other services take a lot of money. If you go to 100% GGR and then suddenly the affiliate gets 40%, then you're stuck with 60%, then you have to pay your taxes, then you have to pay all of, you know, your infrastructure, your people, etc. And then you have to, you know, pay for the product, and the product generally is a percentage of turnover. I like the Philippines in particular because there is a lot of variety in gaming. So they don't only just have, let's say, the integrated resorts right from the top to, let's say, iGaming via the POGOs with small e-game locations in order to do electronic gambling like arcades, as we would talk about in Europe. They have everything. They have the lotteries, they have bingos, they have the live game studios that are being offered within the electronic gaming environments. They have the different products that can be offered online. There is a variety of product online that can be offered different ways, from instant gaming to, let's say, a full iGaming platform to a sports betting platform or a combination thereof. That to me is where it should move.
Yeah, the POGOs were just a disaster for the Philippines, unfortunately. With the horror stories that went with the people trafficking, the non-compliance. Difficult for the Philippine government to control, of course, because they were delivering significant revenues. And now, of course, one of the reasons why we're seeing revenue decline in the land-based casinos is because a lot of the POGO employees were regular visitors, particularly on the slot machines here in the Philippine casinos. So it's had a tremendous impact on them. A good move by the Philippine government to completely ban them. I think, we're all used to sometimes the Philippines works in different ways. One time it's this, and another time it can be that. But if you understand that, and if you're used to working in those conditions, then it comes as no surprise, I think. So a good move by the government to ban them.
However, land-based and online operators, affiliate, tech visionaries agree that without clear, coordinated rules, players drift towards unlicensed platforms and governments risk losing control.
I've met with the majority of the land-based casinos here in Manila, and they're not as reluctant as they were, because they really do realise that they have to embrace the online space, because you've got certain operators that are now operating here under what we call a POGO license, that have suddenly stolen the market. Now, in the Philippines, you've got quite a young demographic. Young demographic are connected to their mobile phones, and they get the thrill and excitement of casino games onto their phone. The land-based casinos can't tap into that market, but now they are very receptive to look at ways of how to increase their revenues and their market share with the online presence. That Thailand is looking to regulate, and if they regulate and they build their integrated resorts with the likes of Wynn, Melco, these big Galaxy, these massive casino operators, they're going to have a fantastic offering in Bangkok or Phuket or Chiang Mai or wherever they decide to site their casino offering. But that will be a fully integrated resort with everything.
From across the region, from the Thailand's bold regulatory moves to Vietnam's evolving gaming framework, the industry is evolving.
You've probably got something might happen in Vietnam. There's always been talk of regulation happening in Japan. Whether or not it ever happens, who knows? But countries, you've got sort of Pacific Island nations that are looking to regulate, because in my opinion, countries are looking to benefit from the tax revenues that can be generated from the land-based operation as well as the online operation. So that's the driving force behind the regulation of new countries and new territories, because they want the tax revenues.
The path forward for Asia lies in thoughtful, rapid regulation. By embracing innovation with responsibility, the region can shape a gaming ecosystem that is secure, transparent, and sustainable, ensuring long-term benefits for economies, industries, and players alike.